Making sure the chat's working. said hi. Same back to him. Okay, good. So Jody,
Oh, is that where he's sitting?
I guess.
He didn't come. That's another story, or a different story.
Well, we have to have time and someone and talk about it.
Yeah, we'll do that. Over tequila.
Yes.
Turn this on. These guys were going to do it, but that's all right. We need to talk to those guys.
They said they would be here.
I don't know if it's on or not. Found the button. Put your music on.
I turned the music off. That one.
Welcome, everybody. Wow. What a great crowd. What a room. Beautiful faces. So many memories with every one of you. With that special girl. First off, I wanted to thank everybody for the outpouring of love that I have received. We have received with flowers and cards and posts on pictures, all kinds of things. It's just been incredible. I really, really appreciate it. And then our neighbors, we have some neighbors here that brought some great food over for us, and just been great to get to see people again and so on. And what, like I said, these faces that I'm looking at here brings back lots of memories. Like Benny. Where are you, Benny? Raise your other hand, Benny. Benny actually introduced us in 1991, Coleen and I, which was pretty deep. The rest is history, so they say. John and Gina Ray are here. They're the ones that took us to Puerto Vallarta for the first time. The reason that Coleen and I bought a timeshare down there, thanks to you guys. I'm so glad you could make it. As you'll see up here on the screen, there's quite a few pictures of Coleen that I can't watch because I just break down. But and then over here we have a whole bunch of knickknacks that, if anybody knows Coleen, she has all kinds of knickknacks and everything all over the house, all over her office when she had an office at Remax and stuff. But it's kind of fun to look at that stuff because that all meant a lot to her. And if you ever went on her Facebook page, all she ever did was post positive things, unlike her husband who did some negative things. That's okay. But yeah, just want to thank everybody for coming. I know some people came from Pennsylvania, some people came from California, from Canada, from all over the place. And oh yeah, and Gary Massey is here, which is the husband right before me. Thank you so much for coming, Gary. He's a great guy. Everybody introduce yourself. He's a wonderful man. But I think that's all I have to say. Just wanted to welcome everybody. I think Jeff, Coleen, oh, one other thing. Just got this in the mail yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if any of you know this, but Coleen was an organ donor. And obviously after all the treatment she went through, we weren't sure what would be viable, but we got a call right after she passed from the Rocky Mountain Lions Eye Bank. And if you know her, her eyes are the most beautiful eyes on the planet. And she actually, we just received a letter that both of her corneas were transplanted internationally. She has 2 recipients around the world, one in Switzerland and one in Ireland, who were able to receive her beautiful eyes. And so it's amazing. But yeah, so we just wanted to share that with you all. She was such a giver, and she's still giving. So yes.
So I just wanted to piggyback off Michael and thank everyone for being here. People I haven't seen in probably 20 years, something like that. It's unbelievable, just the outpouring of love and affection. I just want to thank each and every one of you. There's a few of you that I haven't met before, so please, I'd love to hear a story or anything that you might have of my mom's that I can carry with me and be greatly appreciated. So there's just a few things I wanted to say, just a couple, like Michael said, the knickknacks. There were some quotes that my mom had that she lived by that mean the most to me. And so everyone in this room has been touched and blessed by Coleen's presence. Her reaching this everlasting quest to touch the heart and embrace every person she came across. I, however, was truly blessed this morning. Oh, let's get together here. And spoiled in that I got to call her mom. What I remember most about my mom is her unwavering compassion for everyone and her selflessness and her genuine and authentic love for everyone on this planet. You didn't have to know them. So I wanted to start with the first quote is Marianne Williamson. I'm sure most of you know it, but it was one of her favorites. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. And we ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God, and your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do, and we were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. My mom always let her light shine. And I would compare her to a lighthouse in that sense. And she just had this innate ability just to nestle into your soul without barely knowing you and just be able to speak to you on a level as if she's known you for her whole life. And I felt her compassion come over me lately, and that's something that I struggled with. And if you know me, I'm a little hard-headed, believe it or not. And so since her passing, I've seen things differently, and it's come over me, and I'm living life very differently, and I appreciate that from her. The ability she had, and what I spoke with before, and her being able to nestle next to your soul with barely knowing you, was always who she was, and she never tried to be anything different. And she was unapologetically Coleen, and that was just the best thing in the world. And to top it all off, she was incredibly personable, and she had this infectious smile and laugh that lit up an entire room, and any of you that spent any amount of time with her would know that. I can't say enough about her life. She lived with such purpose, love, integrity, and with an overabundance of love to give to everyone. She got to travel the world and blessed me with an amazing and phenomenal bonus family and father, who I'm incredibly grateful for, and an amazing teacher who was taken way too soon. I just want to close with one last quote. It's something that I've always loved. It's written during a speech by Roosevelt, and it was The Man in the Arena. My mom and I always go back about quotes, and Brene Brown was something we both loved, and she always used that in a book she wrote called Daring Greatly, which is part of the speech. And after she passed, I went to the house and stepped foot out in the garage, and it was rewritten. It's called Man in the Arena, and it was rewritten as Woman in the Arena. And I think it very much emphasized how she lived her life, as Michael said with the first quote. And it goes, "It is not the critic who counts, not the woman who points out how the strong woman stumbles, or the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the woman who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasm, the great devotions, who spends herself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if she fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that her place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither knew victory nor defeat." My mom dared greatly every day of her life and challenged me to do the same, and I stand here before you today a better man because of it. She was always a part of a worthy cause, whether it was for herself or for someone else. I love you, Mom. Think about you every day. Love, your sugar bear.
Hello, everyone. We're gathered here today to recognize the life, celebrate that life, but also acknowledge the loss that we've had of an angel who walked the earth, by the name of Coleen Jewel Vieira Pinkham Massey Allen. She got around. Coleen was born July 17th, 1958 in San Jose, California. Her parents were Marilyn and Coburn Jewell. At the age of 6, she lost her father in a terrible line of duty accident, leaving Coleen, her mother, Marilyn, and her brother Brian. Marilyn later married Ed Vieira, and they had a son named Victor. Coleen leaves behind her husband Michael, her brothers Brian, Victor, Brian's wife Bonnie, and their sons Nick, John, and Austin, her bonus daughter Coralie, and her husband Grant, and her 2 adorable granddaughters sitting here, Devin and Hayden, whom she couldn't talk enough about, by the way. Her bonus son, Storm, his husband, Gavin, and their son, Jeff, and his beautiful fiancée, Jessica. She was excited about Jeff and Jessica because she saw babies. So. Coleen left us Tuesday, July 16th of this year, one day before her 66th birthday on the 17th. She was born 7/17/58, and 7/17 were really important to her in her life. And her personal life and her business life, she always looked for the correspondence of those numbers, and if they weren't there, she would just sometimes not do it. It's important to her. So during that day, we'd been to the hospital a lot. Carly had been a great support for Mike throughout this whole ordeal, as did everybody else, but Carly was on site a lot. And so we'd been at the hospital a lot that day, but decided that we would take a break, have some dinner. Mike and Carly were still at the hospital, the doctors. Allie, Becky, and I went to have dinner. During the dinner, we couldn't help ourselves, so we texted Mike, what's happening, what's going on, how is she? Is she better? And then my phone buzzed, and I was hoping it was Mike, and I picked up my phone to see the text, and the time was 7:17. And Mike's text said, she's leaving now. So she just came through the restaurant to say goodbye. So to begin today, I would invite all of you to close your eyes. Take a breath. And through the sorrow, find that spot with Coleen that was magical and happy and joyous and fun. I have a whole reel of those, but find the one that means the most to you. Pierce that essence of yourself and find that joy with Coleen. Hello, Coleen. We're here for you. I'm trying to conjure up the right description of Coleen. The words are just, the one word is dynamic. Coleen was a dynamic woman. Her dynamism allowed her to be whoever she needed to be to accomplish the task that was always at hand anytime it was available. Underneath it was making sure you were loved, you were taken care of. At a moment's notice, Coleen could transform, and her ingenuity would call in whatever occasion it was for. She could transform from angel to lover, to mother, to caretaker, to peacemaker, to student, to coach, to ally, to benefactor, to investigative researcher. She was good at that. To chauffeur, to prankster, which she did a lot, to friend, and then back to her angelic quality. The nature of giving is at the very heart of who Coleen Allen was, and all the other names she had. She was always that. And her generosity is known to everybody in this room without explanation. She was a problem solver, a seeker of truth. She sought the truth in herself so she could find it and share it with you so you could find your truth. And she did that a lot, whether you wanted her to or not. She was mischievous as a cat, razor sharp intellect. She could pick apart anything, most especially herself, but we would help her to overcome that. Everybody who knows her has experienced her love and her giving. And we all wanted her to know just how special she was to all of us. How much she meant. How truly valuable we know her to be. Without ever lifting a finger, she would take care of everything, and it's because of who she was. So she leaves us with those lessons of giving, love, and compassion. And as we gather here in this room, loving and living that together is important. My name is Bobby Lee, and I can't get this paper apart. And my wife Becky and our son Jeremy have known Mike and Coleen for 33 years. And it all started in the 80s when I drove through the Wet Mountain Valley in Westcliff and was just taken over by the beauty. And I decided on that day that I'm going to have land in Westcliff, Colorado someday. So in 1992, I was looking for land, and Becky had subscribed to a publication called the Rural Property Bulletin. It's a small little paper publication that had land for sale all over the country. In reviewing that, I found a piece of land advertised in Westcliff, Colorado, and the agent was Coleen Massey. So I called Coleen. We had a lovely conversation, talked about the land, talked about Westcliff. And she said, I'm a little confused though because I've never heard of the Rural Property Bulletin. I didn't place that ad, but we'll send you a video of the land anyway that you can take a look at. So ultimately, we found Coleen and then Mike through a publication they never heard of in an ad they never placed. Divine intervention, perhaps. And later, of course, we found out that it wasn't about buying land. They weren't that good anyway, but Mike and Coleen were the top producers in the company every year. But it was about finding this relationship. It's been so valuable to our lives, and probably yours as well. That's why you're here. To say that Coleen and Mike have been instrumental and powerful in our lives is an understatement. They have. Their children became friends with our children. And we spent time together, loving and laughing, traveling and doing things together. Mike and Coleen went to Las Vegas and got married along with some friends. When they came home, they wanted to blend the families together. So they had a family ceremony that Becky and I ministered for that. It was really, really sweet. Today we're here ministering her passing, which is treacherous. And I'm pretty sure everybody in this room, as well as we, Mike, that you'll be married to her for the rest of your life. Because death doesn't break the love that you guys had for one another. So after we moved to Colorado Springs in 1994, my employer said, please go to Atlanta, and I said, thank you, no. I'll just stay here and sell real estate with Mike and Coleen, which is what I did. I'd been selling for a long time, never real estate. So Mike took me under his wing to show me how to tour, show me how to go to the ranches. We later decided we're just brothers from different mothers. And he was my hero, to such a sportsman, such a great guy who knew how to deal with people and deal with land. I've always determined Mike was a party looking for a place to happen. And it did. It did. And Coleen then took me under her wing and said, hey, you've got to learn the company, you've got to learn the rules, you've got to learn how to advertise, and I am the teacher. So I would go to their house after touring land, taking pictures of property, and learn how to write an ad about it that would be appealing to somebody and get them to call, come buy a piece of land. And we'd spend 2 to 4 hours sometimes doing that, and because Coleen was a sugarholic like me, she put out some goodies and, you know, a very large bag of Boston baked beans. What could go wrong with that? So we would write these ads for hours, which was great. And it was a wonderful time being together that way. So after we'd written the ads, I would need to go home near in a diabetic coma anyway. So that went on and on and on. And it was her intention to see that we were secure, successful, and happy. And she never gave up on that. I love Coleen Allen, and I'll miss her greatly. But today I'm here to celebrate and rejoice that she was in our lives. And I'm sure you all feel the same way. We traveled together both physically, consciously, did seminars of the same type. We used the same teacher. We would talk endlessly at hours about what we have discovered and found about ourselves, which made her ever more wanting to be with you and share that, and give you that insight and give you that information. It's what she did. She knew how to do that. Mike and Coleen have been probably the most loving relationship that we've ever had. So I'm sad to be here today for this reason, but reminded of the miracle of finding her in a publication she didn't know anything about. And I thank her for being my friend so I could love her and be loved by her. That she could be the sister to Becky that she never had, so I could be her brother. So to Coleen, I say thank you for not placing that ad. And it reminds me of the miracle of finding these two people that I love so much. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you, God, for giving us all Coleen Allen. So I think the family wants to speak, and after the family speaks, maybe it's time for Tina. I don't know what we're doing with that.
Tina has something.
Tina? So Tina has a busy afternoon, and she'll have to leave. She can't stay. But she was very close with Coleen in the real estate business and as a friend for years.
Hi.
Love you.
Love you too, Bobby.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bobby. That was very nice.
That was beautiful. You know, it's amazing that everybody's here. Each and every one of you, I either know you, or I know of you, or I know about you. And as we do, because Mike and Coleen and their family were our friends. I had to write this because I actually belong to Toastmasters, and I thought, I'm going to say something profound and learn how to speak because I want to be a professional speaker. And I got up in front of just my Toastmaster people, and I started bawling before I even started, so I thought, I'm going to bring tissue, and I'm going to write it down. Okay. It feels surreal to be standing here today, surrounded by the love and light that Coleen embodied. It's hard to believe she's not physically with us, but her spirit undeniably fills this room. And I want to say something about 17. The reason I'm up here right now is because I actually had my birthday's on the 14th, but I chose the 17th because that was Coleen's number a year ago. A year ago. So I've got about 250 people at my house right now, and there's no way I'm going to miss this. Because I wanted to honor who she is and what she meant to me and my family. Our journey began in a rather unconventional way, over the phone. I was a residential real estate agent, have been since 1991. I was very green here in Colorado Springs, cold calling, because I had gone through coaching. She was on the other end, a potential client. So what I said was, "Hi, my name is Tina Cooper, and I was wondering, when do you plan on moving?" And she goes, "What?" how long have you lived at this address? If you were to move, when would that be? She goes, how did you know? I didn't. She was in land sales. And little did I know that call would be the start of an extraordinary friendship that would span nearly 3 decades. Coleen wasn't just a client, she became a confidant. My sister that I never had, Becky. I always wanted. Her trust in me led to more than just a real estate transaction. It was the beginning of a bond that weathered countless storms, shared countless laughs, and created memories that will forever be etched in my heart. I knew Coleen before I even knew my husband. She helped me so much. I was struggling as a single mom. Together we navigated the crazy world of real estate. She actually wanted to be a residential realtor, and she joined me as a partner. So we were partners in crime and success. We laughed, we cried, we celebrated our wins. She was very, very sharp. She helped me be a little more meticulous, because I'm kind of wild and crazy. And I helped her have the courage to step out. She didn't want to be a listing agent, but I was like, come on now. Together we navigated the crazy world. Our adventures extended far beyond the office. We shared unforgettable trips to Puerto Vallarta with my husband, Jamie. She made a huge difference in his life too, talking him into going to a program that basically changed his life. He still talks about to this day. And his main quote today, because of Coleen, is the man in the arena. He's putting himself out there because of her. And Marianne Williamson is actually the poster that's on my bathroom wall every single day because of her. I had it mounted 2.5 years ago. Together we organized charity drives filling 16-foot trailers with, you should see some of the pictures there. Let me just tell you the story. Okay, I can talk now. This was so much fun. So Coleen and I were in our office, we're selling real estate. And we're sitting there going, you know, we're pretty successful. We ought to give back. That's a great idea, Coleen. What do you think we should do? She goes, well, DHS has a giving tree. I think they got a few families left that we can adopt, or we can adopt a family. That's a great idea, Coleen. Why don't you check on it? She calls DHS and she says, hey, we want to adopt a family. She goes, which one do you want? She goes, what do you mean? There's 11 families. Coleen goes, well, what happens to the rest of the families if they don't get adopted? This is 2 days before Christmas. She came to me and she says, let's adopt them all. So we got a 16-foot trailer. We loaded up all the kids, everybody wore hats. The Suburbans, we went to companies and all of our friends and collected all this, because we got sheets that said, 3 kids, single mom, you know, no clothes, they want maybe a Game Boy or something, or maybe they need furniture, because they have no furniture. So we went to Platte Valley, all the outpouring of love, they just came and donated, and it just kept coming and coming. I mean, literally, it was crazy. And we'd go from place to place delivering to these 11 families and sing Christmas carols as we were delivering everything. It was so beautiful. And we did it again the next year. We even got a plaque that says Crazy Christmas. That's what we named our little organization. It was so beautiful. But that was Coleen. Coleen did that. She changed lives. She's powerful. With our massive SUVs loaded to the brim, we delivered Christmas cheer and carols. She didn't want to sing, but we kind of made her. Oh, Mike. We shared some of life's toughest challenges, embracing our weird little quirks and acknowledging our differences. Because we really were different, but we couldn't have been more the same in our souls. It never mattered. Even if we hadn't talked or seen each other for months, the moment we reconnected, it was as if no time had passed. Our bond was that strong. And we'd go down the list of all you kids. What's going on in your life? You know, Carly was getting ready to have a baby because she wanted to be a grandma so bad. Because I got a jump on her, and I was like, I'll share mine with you. And she's like, oh, she was never so happy when she had the babies. Colleen's vulnerability, friendship, shining heart touched the lives of so many. We often wonder if we make a difference in the world. Well, I can tell you, Coleen was the difference maker. I'm almost done, sorry. When I did this, it was only 3 minutes long. She was a devoted wife to Mike, a loving mother to their 3 exceptional children. Storm, Carly, Jen. And a friend who was always there with a listening ear and a shoulder to cry on. Or something funny that always made Coleen, you do have a sense of humor. You would come out of nowhere. We've walked through life together, experiencing the highs and lows, the joys and sorrows. We celebrated milestones, offered support during challenges, always found a way to laugh. Coleen was uniquely able to find humor in even the most trying situations. Her laughter was infectious, and it could brighten even the darkest days. I'll cherish the memories of our late night phone calls, discount shopping sprees. A lot of you ladies know that. She loved to go to Goodwill. Okay, it just fell down. As we gather today to celebrate Coleen's life, let us also celebrate her incredible impact on all of us. Let us remember her with love, gratitude, and a smile, and let us carry her spirit forward, living our lives with the same passion, kindness, and resilience that defined her. I do want to say my boys. They've all called me when they found this out, and they're out of state right now, and unfortunately they couldn't be here. Thank you for allowing the live streaming. This is critical for us, because she meant a lot to my children too, and Jamie's. Coleen is my dear friend, and you will forever be missed, but never forgotten. And just so you know, I was going through a rough patch in my life, and I said, dear Lord, please show me that you're with me every day. I prayed to the universe. And 17 popped up, and it's everywhere in my life. 17 is my number 2. Thank you all for being here.
So most of you here from out of town, out of state, or wherever it is, that were clients. Remain clients, not because they were that great, but they were. It's because they fell in love with their realtors. And they never stopped. Bill's here from Pennsylvania, and every year he and his wife would get together with Mike and Coleen, and they'd meet somewhere, Santa Fe or somewhere. That's not normal for real estate relationships, but it's because it speaks to who Coleen and Mike were. So did you want to do this?
Yeah, we welcome anybody. Please.
So anybody who has a story or something they want to share with Coleen, please feel free to come up and do that. You're welcome. Do you want to speak first? Okay. So Carly will come up first.
Thank you. I'm being shoved up here by my 6-year-old.
Not precocious at all.
No, she is not. So like you said, my name's Carly. Mike is my dad, and Coleen is my bonus mom. We never loved the term stepmom. It felt so cold, but bonus felt really special. The word bonus is actually defined as something welcome and often unexpected that accompanies and enhances something that itself was already good. And that's so true. My mother is here, and her and my father had a wonderful relationship. But when that ended, we still had a wonderful family. And then when Dad met Coleen, I truly got a bonus mom. I already had the best one, didn't know I needed another, but I guess I'm bragging, I got two. So it was very amazing. And something I wanted to share, everybody's kind of touched on what a giver Coleen was, and she gave me a very special gift a couple of years ago. It's a bracelet that I'm actually wearing right now, and it came with a card, and it says, "To my bonus daughter, I didn't give you life, but life gave you me. I couldn't have loved you more if you were my very own. Thank you for the privilege of being your extra mom. In my heart, you have always been, and you always will be my daughter. I love you." I'm so thankful that we had that kind of relationship. I'm so thankful that I was the recipient of so much of her giving. And when Grant and I had our kids, she got to be the grandma that she couldn't wait to be. And Devin and Hayden were very, very special to her. Absolutely mean the world to her. She, go back to the shopping and the buying of all the things. She has this beautiful toy chest at the house that she would fill with all kinds of activities and games and toys and tie-dye, which you saw pictured a couple of times. But she always wanted to connect with the kids and have so much fun with them. And she did that, and she really dove in and played with them. And she actually thanked us a lot, Grant and I, for teaching her how to play. She would watch us play and be involved with our kiddos, and she wanted to be able to do that too, and she had that relationship with them, and I know that they just absolutely adore their grandma and miss her terribly, like we all do. Bobby had asked us during his part to, close our eyes and think of a memory of Coleen, and the first thing that came to my head was a lot of those images that we saw up there of just our family all getting to be together and playing. But in February, it was right after Coleen kind of started to know that she wasn't doing well and things were kind of happening, and we were taking the information as it came. But months before that, she planned a trip for our families to go to Disneyland. And there was quite a few photos up there of us at Disneyland. I think a piece of Coleen knew how important that trip was going to be for our family and how special that time was going to be. But my dad and Coleen, Jeff, Storm, Grant, myself, and our girls all got to go together and spend, some people do Disneyland for 2 days or 3 days. Well, that's not Coleen, right? So we did 5 days in the parks, and it was the most magical time. They say Disney's magic. It wasn't about Disney. It was about our family being able to be there to do that together. And those are some of the most fondest memories I will ever have of our family and our time together. The forecast was to rain the entire trip. So there's a photo in the slide of all of us just in ponchos and rain pants and waterproofing our shoes and all the things for that trip. And not a single one of us wanted to not go or change our plans or do anything. And we just, got in our rain suits and went for it. And it was truly a blessing, just like Coleen was a blessing to all of us. I have one quote I want to read, and then I will pass the torch. There's a Bible verse that I just think is really special. It's from Ecclesiastes, and it says, "For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to harvest, a time to kill and a time to be healed, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to cry, a time to laugh, a time to grieve, and a time to dance." As if her life and death is anything for all of us, please remember to dance. Like, have fun, enjoy every moment, because life is short. Coleen, we love you, we miss you, we will never forget you. And until we meet again, we will keep spreading your love and keep giving in your honor, because someone has to fill those shoes. We love you. Thank you, guys.
You're next.
Here we go. Hi everyone, I'm Storm. I am Coleen's bonus son, and she was definitely a bonus mom, as Carly said. You know, I have the best mom in the world, and to get a second one is unbelievable. So, again, bragging, but very lucky. And Gavin, my husband, said something in the car last night that keeps hitting me really hard. And he said, "What do you mean never again?" As in, what do you mean I won't get to see that beautiful smile again? Or hear her infectious laugh? Or just walk in the house and hear the "hey buddy," because I was always her buddy. And we used to do a lot of things together. I was her bingo buddy. We go bingoing. She could bingo. She had like 48 cards in front of her. And she'd just be like, and I'd have my one card like, oh. And I never won bingo, but I always won the raffle. And we got dishes, sets of dishes all the time. And, but I mean, we had a pretty incredible relationship. You know, that never again though, that's been hitting me really hard, because that's not something that you want to have leave you. I mean, I can't look at pictures right now. It's so hard just to see that face, because again, never again in real life is, that's very difficult. The 717 thing I know is very important to Coleen, and I'm sure like my buddy Cober's here, and he bought a house through Coleen, and I'm sure he heard the 717 the entire time that they were trying to buy a house. And you know, she would show a house, and if it had 17 in the street number, she said, "You gotta buy this house." It's the perfect house for you. It's 717. And I mean, there was times in my life when I've been sad and I've looked at the clock and it said 7:17, and I'm like, okay, I'm where I'm supposed to be. But since she passed, the amount of times I've seen 7:17 is unbelievable. It's like literally everywhere I look. And it just gets to be a reminder that the never again thing, it's not true. It's, we did gain a true guardian angel, and that 7:17 just keeps reminding me that she's still here. And I learned so much from that woman, and I can't say enough about how special she was to me. When she came to visit Galliano Island in Canada, where my husband and I are from, she and my dad came up for a trip, and Coleen wasn't a big exerciser. That wasn't her thing. But yeah, but we got her out for a walk, and the place we live is pretty magical, and there's food growing everywhere. There's blackberries and apple trees and pear trees, and she couldn't believe that you could just walk around and eat stuff. She's like, "Is that an apple?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, "Go grab it and eat it." And she's like, "What? You can do that?" I'm like, "Yeah." So, for people who didn't know, one of her last wishes was that she wanted to do the living urn thing, where they put you in a biodegradable urn and they plant your ashes underneath either a seed or a tree. And Coleen is going to be an apple tree overlooking the ocean. and she's gonna keep giving to people forever, and people can just be walking around and, ooh, an apple. I want a sign that says, yeah, you can eat that. Yeah, definitely not the evil stepmom. And that stepmom never fit that role. And the way Carly defined bonus was really true. She was the best bonus mom that I could ever ask for, and I'm so lucky to have her, and I'll miss her every day, but she'll keep showing up in her 717, and I'll feel loved again. So, thank you.
So we used to gather at their house during the, you're welcome, during the football season.
Were you trying to do something? Sorry.
Just hug you. And on one particular chilly day, we got there and she had on this pink, very nice house jacket that's soft. And Becky said, wow, that is really nice. I could use something like that. Because Becky's cold at 80 degrees. So Coleen got her a t-shirt that said, yes, I'm cold, me, 24/7. So 2 days later, Amazon delivered a package with that jacket. That's who she was.
Yeah, by the way, Jeff Bezos gave me a call and says, how am I going to make up?
Yeah. That's a fact. This long, loving relationship will continue no matter what for everything everybody said. So when we met these guys, Jeff, Storm, and Carly were young. And we watched them grow and blossom due to their real family and their extended family. And people came from everywhere. So Donna and Phil are here. They're from New Jersey. They bought land from Mike and Coleen. Just kept coming back and coming back. Do you not have enough land? No, you just want to be with Mike and Coleen. That's understandable. So if anyone has a story they'd like to share, would you like to come up now? You have a story you're going to share?
I have
Jessica?
many stories to tell. Love that woman.
Thank you, Bobby.
So I'm Jessica, Jeff's girlfriend or fiance. And I think, Coleen helped us all feel comfortable to open our hearts because she made us feel loved and understood with her openness, her trust, her kindness, her generosity, as we've all mentioned, her honesty and her pure love. We all sensed that, and she felt like a natural psychologist. This is coming from a mental health therapist myself. And we bonded so much. It was so cool to learn more and more about her. But yeah, she was just a dream mother-in-law, one that you could dream of, for real, like the best one I could ever ask for. She was so warm and kind, just sharing secrets, like filling me in family history. She defended me from the boys. Whenever we'd be around the house with Michael and Jeff teasing me, I'd run to her and she would hug me in her warm, heartfelt hugs. She was just a beautiful person. And I remember even hearing about her before I met her from Jeff when we first started dating in 2021. And I was just like, oh, I can't wait to meet her, because I felt and sensed her love, and she always just defended and protected and supported our relationship and rooted for us to work out, and here we are. And I just love to learn more and more about Coleen through everybody, and about the interesting things so many things that we shared in common, from putting on makeup to loving to sleep for a long time, to being hoarders, to shop, order a million Amazon packages, going to just trying to give gifts all the time, and just playing cards and board games, doing arts and crafts with the girls. The statement art, positive affirmations, quotes, living by those, having love really lead the way. and psychology. We could talk about everything, about all the different psychological aspects of different kinds of situations and things regarding psychology and sharing ADHD. She always talk about ADHD, and just personal growth. She always wanted to be the best version of herself, and really having that emotional intelligence. And I thank you, Coleen, for transferring that on to Jeff. It makes me fall in love with you more and more every day, babe. But yeah, just all the wonderful things that I get to know about Coleen and learn through each one of you. And I look forward to learning. Even earlier today, just hearing about, having Coleen's haircuts and have, just everybody has a different piece of a story to her to share. And we were in the ICU at the hospital, and she's so perseverant. That's another quality. She's such a perseverant woman. She did not give up. She was always fighting, and we were just giving her the breathing tube for the exercises. Yeah, machine. Thank you. And just helping her do the exercises so she could strengthen to be able to breathe. And she was doing them, and she was always keeping this light energy and positivity. Doesn't matter what she was going through. After the 8-hour freaking surgery for esophagus cancer, and she was so strong and holding a smile, and still, despite the difficulties in her body to breathe, she was still chuckling and laughing, and we were able to see grown-ups in the movie, and then we were able to, just spend time with her and be able to be with her, and she was just always doing her best. I feel like that's something that we can always just take away from her, is just letting love lead us in life, and love in abundance, and having that compassion and that unity, and it doesn't matter what, and helping people feel loved and seen. And I just hope to one day, when we start having kids, Jeff and I reincarnate her, because I feel like I see signs of my grandmother, may she rest in peace, and my niece, and I feel like, okay, well, hey, maybe we could do the same with Coleen. We can have a baby girl, and her middle name could be Coleen, and just continue seeing signs of her everywhere we go. I know Jeff has seen her multiple times around the golf course too, and just number 17. And even we went bowling like a week after. Well, that was another activity that we both like to do. And there were on the screen, one of the scores was 717, and then Jeff was at one point was upset because I kept on getting spares even though I was getting zeros or getting gutter balls, and I was like, that's Coleen. I'm like, I don't care, you can change it, because he wanted to change the score, and I was like, do it. Fine, because I'm gonna bowl, and your mom's gonna give me another spare, and sure she did, and it wasn't every single one, by the way. It just happened to be, but yeah, she just loved you, babe, so much, and everybody, and we have been talking about her every day, independently and together, and just keeping her spirit alive, and I hope she continues to live in all of our hearts with love and compassion, and letting love lead the way.
Is there anyone else who would like to share something about Coleen, your experience with her? Well, in that case, thank you. Thank you for being here. And I think you've heard the outpouring of love for her because of the outpouring love that she provided everything and everyone else. She will be missed tremendously, but remembered greatly and fondly. And as I said, watching these two families come together was such a joy. There would be Thanksgivings when the entire families would come together and have a great feast of thankfulness. And so I know Mike and family is grateful that you're here today. Thank you for coming. and keep her in your heart and mind because she'll be in yours. Thank you.
So guys, there are refreshments and so on right through that door to the video room, and we can mingle, tell stories, lies.
Stories and lives.
Please go check out all of her fun quotes and knickknacks that we all have.
Thank you, everyone.